There it goes. My computer's being a little sluggish today. How we doing out there in YouTube land? I have another Masters of the WWE Universe figure to open up for you. This is Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman? It's the newer guys, man. I'm not as up on these newer guys. I'm not as hip on the newer guys. If I was a smart person, I would have, like, you know, done a little research before I watched this video. Maybe watched a couple of promos and a couple of matches featuring this gentleman, so I could know a little bit more about him. But you know, as I've noted before, I'm kind of a lapsed wrestling fan. It's not that I dislike wrestling. It's not that wrestling did anything to tick me off. Excuse me one moment. That lamp is creating some glare, some unwanted glare. All right, but you know, I at one point got a job where I worked nights. I still have a job where I work nights. But if I were a current wrestling fan and I got a job that worked nights, there are lots of ways where I could figure out how to catch up on it. But this was, like, you know, back around 2000, and I just kind of lost track of it. So it was like 2002, 2003. I remember that around the time that I stopped watching wrestling was when I got a job working at a movie theater, one of the many movie theaters that I worked at, and I worked nights, so I didn't get a chance to watch as much of it. And it was around the time that John Cena was first starting his career in the WWE, as they'd recently changed their name to. So I did get to see the birth of John Cena as a professional wrestler, but that's about as recent as I get. Anyway, so I mean no disrespect to this guy. So he's obviously, like, you know, big enough of a deal. They made a He-Man action figure out of him. Although I will say, out of the assortment that he's in, he's the one that seems to sell the slowest. I mean, eventually he does sell, and obviously I bought one. But when I went to the store, all that was left on the shelves from this line of figures at all, not just from this wave, but just period, there was one of The Rock, and there was 3 Braun Strowmans. I'm gonna say Braun Strowman. That's how I'm gonna say that. I don't know if it's correct how it's getting pronounced in this video. So, Mr. Strowman, I apologize if I'm mangling your name. So, you're obviously a bigger, tougher dude than I am and could kick my ass very easily, so just forgive my ignorance. With Braun's sights set on the championship of Grayskull, the superstars of WWE Eternia aren't just going to get these hands, they're going to get these terror claws, because he has terror claws. And there's a nice piece of artwork on the back with Mr. Strowman with his mouth agape, and he looks like he just, like, accidentally saw his mom on the bathroom or something. Like just his soul is broken. So I would probably put, like, a sterner expression on his face. Like, the one on the action figure is good. Like, you can see that's a really good expression. I'm kind of excited about this guy because he's got Beastman parts, and I like Beastman. But he looks like a cool enough figure in his own right. Like I say, I like these characters that feel like they could fit into the Masters of the Universe if they weren't wrestlers. So the comic book is really taped in here. Like, it's got 2 pieces of tape holding it in here. They really don't want you to remove this comic book. So, this cover, again, is an homage to one of the classic mini-comics, and I just tore it because there's tape on it. So, thanks, Mattel. Thanks for ruining this collector's item 1-page comic book with your tape. How am I supposed to keep this in mint condition for my collection? Look at that. Part of the Rock's foot is torn off. You have crippled the people's champion. And it's got the same glue residue at the side here, probably from the package that Rey Mysterio's comic had, but not as much. Alright, so Braun Strowman, ruthless monster among men, and there's a nice little illustration of him there. And it says, "The Battle Royal has begun, and no superstar is more favored than Braun Strowman. Alright, boys, it's time for all of you to get these hands." He likes to say that. That's his catchphrase. So, I figured that out from the context. And then it shows him fighting with this dude who looks like Venom. I think his name's Finn Balor, which is the most He-Man name in these characters. Like, if you told me that one of these characters actually had a name from He-Man, besides Faker John Cena, he would be the one I would pick. So you can see he's fighting with that guy and Stratos, Rey Mysterio, and The New Day, and Faker John Cena, who has an orange shield, which I'm pretty sure that the figure doesn't actually come with, and Faker John Cena is fighting actual John Cena. And there's some other people in the background. I can't quite make out who they are. It almost looks like another Rey Mysterio, but that wouldn't make any sense. And then you've got another panel of him fighting all three of these guys, and he says, "Is that the best you got? Braun!" He yells out his name like Space Ghost. "You call this competition? Once I wipe the floor with this trash, that crown of yours is going to be mine, Skull King." Now, see, what I would have thought is, since Triple H is kind of like the equivalent of Skeletor in this universe, and Braun is obviously like made up to like Beastman, that he would be the savage henchman of the Skull King. That apparently is not the case. He is another rival to the Skull King's power. But perhaps the Skull King could humble Braun Strowman and force him to become his henchman, and you could have that kind of interplay between the two characters. I don't know. So, I don't know where my X-Acto knife is. I'm going to turn this lamp back on for just a second so I got a little more light. Don't be distracted by the glare. This episode was not directed by J.J. Abrams. I just have my lamp on. Did it fall on the floor? Well, I'm going to instead use this ceramic tool, because it has a sharp enough edge that I can do this. Alright, there we go. And there's his little baggie of accessories. Now, Mattel, you see how you have these packed loose into a bag, loosely, where they have plenty of room, so they're not crushed up against each other, and, like, wrapped in there, like, swaddled like a mummy, with all that tape that I then have to cut off, and it warps the accessories, and I have to dip them in boiling water to soften them up enough that I can actually, you know, get them into the correct shape. That's how you do that. So, good job with packaging these on the WWE figures. Bad job packaging them on the regular Masters of the Universe figures. As I'm fond of saying, I'm not saying these things because I hate the line. I'm saying these things because I love the line. I want to see the line succeed. I'm giving you creative input. I'm giving you constructive criticism. Because I love you guys. I really do. You're doing a great job. But there's just certain things that we could be and should be done better. Okay, so the Terror Claws are the same Terror Claws that came on Terror Claws Skeletor, which I thought I had that figure around here somewhere. Did I move him elsewhere? Where is he at? Where are you, Terror Claws Skeletor? Is he behind the computer? He's behind the computer. There we go. So yeah, these claws came from Masters of the Universe Classics. So this is actually not made to fit on this figure. This is made to fit on a Classics Skeletor figure. And as you can see, they fit on him quite snugly. On the other hand, I have the Triple H figure that also comes with the Skeletor Terror Claws. And I've actually misplaced one of them because it fell off and I don't know where it went. It probably fell under one of my shelves. I don't know. But I'm going to have to check under my shelves for stuff that's gone missing. Anyway, so, but if you get them on there just right, they should stay well enough for kids to play with them and not have to worry about them getting knocked off accidentally too badly. And the trick I found to it is to turn the fists so that they're parallel with the claws, and then they stay on pretty well. But we actually don't want to put these on yet because he's got some other armor that we can put on him. And this is Beastman's armor, and it goes on his upper arms. And again, much like with the Terror Claws and the actual Beastman armor on his chest, these are the ones from the Masters of the Universe Classics figures. So they're a little bit larger and more imposing than the ones that came on the actual Beastman figure. Pardon me one moment. I'm just going to grab something real quick. Where did I put it? Here we go. We have our Origins Beastman for comparisons, and you can see that, like, the armor that's on Braun Strowman is much more detailed. The spikes are much more imposing, and that's because this was the armor that was made for the Masters of the Universe Classics figure, and the other armor was made for a children's plaything. So this is actually, like, you know, super detailed collector figure level armor. So if you want to pimp out your Beastman and just make him look totally badass, it's not a show for kids, you know, you can replace this armor with the Braun Strowman armor. You might have to paint it to match, like if you want him to have the blue amulet and, you know, actual red armor. But I think it'll look a lot cooler. I think I'm going to get an extra one of these guys so I can do that with my red Beastman custom, which I haven't done a video about him yet, but I will in the near future. I might wait until I get an extra Braun Strowman so I can use that armor on him. But I'm going to put it on that figure first and see how it looks. But yeah, so there he is, all put together with all of his armor and everything, and the Terror Claws. And he's a pretty imposing looking figure. I don't know if this guy wears this kind of makeup in the ring, because like I said, I'm unfortunately not too familiar with him. But he's even got kind of like blue markings on his face that I figure it's the same shade of blue as Beastman. So I figure that's another homage to Beastman. So anyway, this is another figure that gets a recommend from me. If you like these wrestling figures, you're sure to like this one. He's pretty bad looking. He's a bad dude. So, and in my continuity, he will be the henchman to the Skull King. Where is he? Where'd I put him? So, there's the other Triple H, because, like I said, I kind of switched their parts around. I found the hammer, so I got him holding the hammer, but like I said, he doesn't hold it. The handle's too thick, so it could get knocked out pretty easily, but he's holding on to it right now. So, anyway, I think I might do something funny. Let's see. Just to amuse myself. Where is Prince Adam? I could have sworn I had Prince Adam over there. I am not very well organized today. Yeah, here he is. So if we take Prince Adam, and we pop his head off, and we take Triple H, and he just came completely apart, but if I pop his head off, it's on there really tightly, I can pop the Triple H head onto the Prince Adam figure, and now I have Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the evil secret identity of the Skull King. I think it's funny. Alright, I'll leave you alone now. We'll talk to you later. Bye.